What's going on, everybody? All right, so in this video, if you're looking for a contractor, stick around. As a contractor, I'm gonna tell you what you need to look for when hiring a contractor, what to be, what the do's and don'ts, red flags, all that good stuff, because I do get some questions about it, and it seems like there's a lot of misinformation out there. So let's do it. All right, I'm wearing pink because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Have you anybody in your family? Tell them to do the routine exams. It helps. It saves lives. Highly recommend it. Now let's get into the video. All right, so you have a project. You need to hire somebody. Where do you go first? The first thing I would do as a consumer, and I am a consumer because I obviously subcontract out work as a contractor as well. And I've been burned a few times, and it is what it is. So take this for whatever it is. It's the internet, so not everything on the internet can be trusted. But you can look at my videos, make your own decision on that. Anyways, so first thing you need to do is word of mouth. Ask your friends. Hey, I need a kitchen built. Hey, I need a bathroom. I need this done. I need that done. Do you have anybody you'd recommend? That is the best way of finding, kind of weeding through like the first layer. If nobody has it, they're not in your area, I would just go online. Social proof is the thing nowadays. Now, obviously 5, 10, 15 years ago it didn't exist, but now it does. If a contractor is not online, that's a red flag. Now, you may not be needing, you may need what's called a chuck in a truck who doesn't have insurance, can maybe get the work done, but you're taking a big risk. It just, if you're taking a big risk, then you're not gonna pay as much. But if there's low risk, you're gonna pay more because contractors either, they carry overhead license, insurance, workman's comp. It's all expensive. I carry all of those. I can tell you firsthand, it's expensive. So their prices are going to reflect it, but they're also going to have a website. They're going to have a Facebook page, social proof, references, all that kind of stuff that you may need depending on the project. That was basically the first thing I would go to. And most people, they find you either by word of mouth or they just go do a Google search and find some reviews for you. I would recommend you Facebook stalk them, which means you go to their page, you can look at what they have, and also just do a Google search, like my business is P Contracting, even though it's searching for signal. You can type in, P Contracting court case, or P Contracting, lien, something, that was into Google, and see if anything pops up in your area. And that might be a red flag for you if it does, for sure. So keep that in mind. Social proof is a big one. I would highly recommend you hire a contractor who has social proof. That's a bright sun right there. Wow. Anyways, after that, you can contact them. For myself, I'll give them a call, tell who I am, brief description of what I need done, and my phone number. And I give one phone call. And I had a project about 2.5 weeks ago. I reached out to 10 other contractors that were listed who had social proof. None of them called me back. So it's everybody's busy right now. For COVID and everything, it's a busy time, but not even a callback saying they're too busy, not a callback saying we're not interested, just nothing, absolutely nothing, which a little unprofessional. I try to give everybody a callback, at least to say, hey, we're not interested, we're too busy, we're booked out, etc., etc. But stuff gets lost in the sauce for sure. So reach out to them, give them a call or email, depending on what their website. You can email them. I would just do one follow-up, and after that, move on to the next contractor. You're either not interested, they're too busy. That itself is a red flag for me. If somebody reaches out twice to me, they're reaching out to give me work and money. So why would I ignore them twice, right? So another thing I would say, make sure that depending on the job, this is all, if they have the proper insurance, bonds if it's needed, and licenses if the job requires it. So that's always, you can ask them for their license number, check it with your local state, make sure they're in good standing. Insurance, you can verify their insurance, and then you can make your choice from there based off if they have a license and insurance, they're not a chuck in the truck. That means they're planning on sticking around for a while, because that takes, depending on the state, some states are super easy, some states are super hard. California and Florida be coming to mind for that. So if they're licensed and insured in California and Florida, you know, that's their career, because it takes a while. It takes quite an effort for that. So keep that in mind. Now, next thing I would check up as far as contractors, you can go on your local apps. If you have a Nextdoor app, you can go Facebook Marketplace, something like that, or Craigslist, which I don't recommend. But you're at the bottom of the barrel in Craigslist. I wouldn't say bottom of the barrel, but because it does cost money to advertise with them nowadays. But it's hit and miss for sure. I have more misses than hits for me on Craigslist. Facebook Marketplace, kind of the same thing. If you're searching for services or you see ads for services, the main thing would be basically just doing a Google search in your area for contractors. That's where it's just probably start and stop. But you can keep going down the totem pole, and the prices for services will keep going down as well, because less professional marketing, all that kind of stuff, overhead, it all costs money, right? So then obviously you're going to your Nextdoor apps, your local apps. I've gotten a lot of work from them. That's also a great way to see other people who have had good, your neighbors give you referrals, which is great. So it's almost like word of mouth. I mean, it basically is like word of mouth. I would highly recommend downloading the Nextdoor app. It's based off your area, and you can always search for posts about contractors, plumbers, electricians, handymen, all that kind of stuff, and you can see what other people recommend. And for the most part, I would say that's pretty spot on, because you're gonna have multiple people recommending the same person, which is great. It's what you want. So once you find a contractor, they come out and give you a bid. I would highly recommend getting at least multiple bids, depending on if you like the guy, it's within your budget, go with it. I mean, you just get another bid just in case, because if you get two bids, one's really low and one's really high, one of them are wrong. Either the guy that's really low is missing a bunch of work that he doesn't see, or the guy that's really high is either not overpricing, but either has a lot of overhead, or he's pricing it out more than necessary. Let's say, like if you're putting in a pre-hung door, it shouldn't cost $1,000 for an interior pre-hung door. But I mean, different people have different overhead, so you never know, right? So it's free market. They can charge what they want to, and you can agree and not pay who you don't want to pay, right? So once you do that, I would ask for referrals, depending on the job. Obviously, if it's a quick job, no need. But and follow up with them. Do what people usually don't do, and call those referrals. Just ask them. Follow. Hey, how did you like them? Did they get the job done in a timely manner? Did they clean up after themselves? All that, just ask them about them, and after that, I mean, you should already have a pretty good, you should have a pretty good idea if you want to hire the person or not, or the company or not. You have all their, you have all their requirements, licenses, insurance, bonds. You've already followed up with them. You have social proof that they can do the work. Now, as far as giving deposits, I would expect to give a legit contractor a deposit, because we don't work without, I don't finance my customers' projects, and you shouldn't expect them to either. Now, don't give them too much. You can give them 10 or 15% down. Once they show up, depending on the contract, that's where it depends on the materials, depends on the job, but expect to obviously to finance your own job. That's what you should expect to do. I've had some customers expect me to finance half of the project, which I don't do. So we, installments, and we work, hey, we'll do this part. I have no problem fronting labor, but materials is an absolute no-no for me. You'll see a bunch of people on YouTube, like, flippers and stuff, say they don't give money to their contractors up front. That's, I mean, there's guys like that, but those are your Home Depot parking lot guys. Those are your guys that just need to make a quick buck for a week or so, because it costs money to stay in business, and I'm not gonna rework my schedule and allot time for a job that the customer can easily request, just cancel it, something happens. So they obviously, the customer is gonna expect to have a little skin in your game with them, and vice versa too. So a little bit of money up front is expected, not a lot. Don't give half up front. Don't give 75% up front. Don't pay the job in full before it's actually completed. never do that. So you probably have heard that before, but definitely don't do that. None of my customers do it. It's always in installments for larger projects. That way we get to a certain phase, certain inspection, it's all taken care of. Boom, next, you know, it's in the contract, next payment's due, next installment's due, and we keep working. So expect that. I think that's all I've got for right now, you guys. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything, but definitely do your homework on people. It's easy with social media now. You can kind of stalk them a little bit and make sure that they are who they say they are and can do what they say they can do. So like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.